Hello, everybody. Welcome to Manifestation Theory, our brand new podcast show. And this podcast intended to showcase you the successful people and also ideas for you to apply in your manifestation journey. And joining us today, an extraordinary being, Dr. Harjit Sidhu, a corporate trainer and business coach with over 17 years of experience transforming lives and organizations worldwide. As a Master Trainer of NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and a certified coach, Dr. Harjit has touched countless lives with his innovative approach to personal development. His signature programs like BMW, Body Mind Wiring, and Metamorphosis have inspired profound transformations in people's lives. What sets Dr. Harjit apart is his commitment to experiential learning. He designs immersive activities that captivate audiences and drive lasting change. From Malaysia, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Pakistan, and a lot more countries. But Dr. Harjit's influence extends beyond the training room. He is a sought-after speaker and has been featured on local radio talk shows, sharing his insights on personal development with a broader audience. Today, we'll dive into Dr. Harjit's journey and discover the secrets behind quantum physics and law of attraction. Get ready to be inspired as we uncover the strategies and mindset shift that have propelled Dr. Harjit to the forefront of the personal development industry. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Mangala.
So, I have this question to ask you, right? Looking at how you have been growing and evolving and transforming people's life, it seems that you have started your career in finance and then you ventured into NLP. And then now you are expert in quantum physics. So how does this manifestation journey happen in your life and why?
Okay. I'll try to summarize that in the shortest version as possible.
Sure.
The journey actually started as a teenager when I was exposed to a lot of these metaphysical concepts. And of course, along the way of life, we do have teachers in our life. So I did have a teacher who was teaching us about certain matters which is involving spiritual, metaphysical aspects. And that got me involved into how interesting the world of mindset is. And as a teenager, it was just like a passion, reading through about it. And as we go along in the journey of life, I, of course, took up the course of finance because that was my passion is. I took up accountancy and started working in the corporate as an accountant, moving upwards as a financial controller. And along the way, I realized that there was a passion going towards how does the mind work. So I have got one leg in the world of finance and the other leg in the leg of mindset and also how the metaphysical aspects works.
Yeah.
So about 18 years ago, I made that big move, moving out of commercial finance and going fully into the world of soft skill, I will call it. Finance is hard skill, technical, and this is more of the soft skill. And that's where the journey started off, going deeper and deeper. And quickly about how I was exposed to NLP is that I did not know or read about NLP at all. I didn't know that NLP existed. But attended Tony Robbins' program. And I was mesmerized by the way how one person could command 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Yes.
So I was like wondering, I said, what does he uses and what are the techniques, everything. And of course, during his talks, during his sessions, he was doing a lot of on-the-spot therapy works. So I was curious, hey, what exactly is this? And I started reading his background and started reading what is the methodology he's using. That's where I came across NLP. So I saw NLP in action first and then started reading about NLP. And of course, started taking up NLP certification course, going deeper and deeper. And somehow it's related to hypnosis. It's the other aspect of the mindset. And I started delving into hypnosis and I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. So that's in a nutshell the journey of it.
That's so inspiring. And that's how you knew.
It's so amazing, right? I mean, of course, NLP is the time. I also didn't know the NLP exists in the world. But then that's where sometimes magic of the universe happens, right? Because in not my teenager, it's almost like my 20 years old. My uncle gave me a book of Tony Robbins, right? And he downloaded a lot of audiobooks and he gave it to me. And so those time I started listening to those audiobooks and somehow, I don't know, that's a vibration or something, with Tony Robbins' voice, like he had mentioned, it will really sink into your soul.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, I couldn't hear other audiobooks at all after listening to his voice, right?
Yeah.
So then that aspect, sometimes when he was telling me in the NLP session that he was inspired by Tony Robbins, I was like, oh,
Wow.
I mean, like, then I made a connection as well, because I'm also the same. Like, I went into my IT industry, and then I was growing in IT industry, and then suddenly I needed to shift. The mindset was always there with me. And then that's when I realized, when he was talking in the NLP session, that's when it's like, oh, so sometimes something is really connecting us together.
Right.
Wow.
A lot of connections, eh?
Yeah, happy to hear that. I feel like this is like very inspiring session, because I used to call you as my guru in terms of coaching, right? And then now you are sitting with your guru. And I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, wow. And that leading to my next question, which is like, what are some metaphysical aspects of NLP? And is NLP is manipulative when it comes to manifestation and in terms of life? Because we have been hearing this with people's perspective that they call it manipulative. So what do you think about it? Share about it.
They look at NLP, you see, the word manipulative itself is negative in nature. But I would like to look at it from the positive aspect. We need to manipulate the mind. Because by default, our mind is always negative. And why it is created negative? Due to survival.
Yes.
Try being positive and walking down the streets. Scammers or criminals will have a gala time with you. Because imagine being positive all the time, right? So we are negative. By default, we are negative in nature due to survival. So we need to twist, or we need to trick the mind from the negativity into positive. That's how I interpret being manipulative. So don't look at manipulation as something negative. It is actually always to keep the mind switching.
Right.
That is why the NLP techniques are very, very useful in this aspect. And you know, if you're exposed to some of the NLP techniques, they've got a lot of techniques in terms of reframing, anchoring, switching mindset, thought replacement. These are all the techniques that is being applied in NLP. And we need to manipulate the mind, because in order to go into a certain state of emotion, certain state of mind, we cannot just say that, okay, I want to feel positive. No. You know, imagine you're feeling down, and then somebody, your friend comes to you, he say, hey bro,
Cheer up.
cheer up. Yeah, think positive, man.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm thinking immediately. I'm switching.
Exactly. So we need to know what are the techniques to manipulate the mind, to go into the other aspect or the other state of the mind. So that is what I mean by manipulating. We also need to manipulate people sometimes. We do have difficult characters around us, negative people. So how do we actually manipulate their mindset in order to turn them around? So I believe that people's behavior, people's characters can be changed. We don't just leave it as okay, we just accept it and then move on in life. I believe that we can take one step further, not only manipulate our state, we can also manipulate their state.
So the word manipulation, we always attach with negativity, right? So basically there's a change also called as manipulation, because you're changing something. You're manipulating something. Is not always being a negative word. We always can attach a meaning of the word differently, right? When it comes to love itself, some people can attach it with negative emotion, some people can attach with positive emotion, right? So it's that way. And also the state of mind, we are increasing from survival to the love.
Exactly.
Energy of love.
Because we as a human being, since our caveman time, we have been designed to be like a fight and flight and be the survivor, to be like living, right, with the tribe. So that fear-based thinking has been a nature since then, actually, which is not really applicable now.
That's right.
Right?
And going into the metaphysical part of NLP, NLP goes deeper into not only these techniques, it goes into the law of vibrations, the law of attraction. Because if you want to manipulate certain energy in a certain room, if you notice there are some difficult people in a particular room that you want to, twist them or change them around, you can also project certain vibes. So this is the metaphysical, and the word metaphysical is beyond physical, beyond what you see, right? Beyond tangible. And you can also apply in terms of energy signatures. You also can apply certain vibrations so that certain people, they will perceive you on a metaphysical aspect differently. That's what the metaphysical aspect is all about. Would it be okay if I go into a bit more deeper into law of attraction?
Please.
About how to apply it?
Yes.
A lot of us, we understand law of attraction in terms of, okay, this is what law of attraction can be and what we need to do. But there are certain steps that we need to apply. We need to do in order for law of attraction to work.
Yeah.
Very quickly, the first step is actually look back at your past, what has happened negatively or positively, whatever the good outcome or the negative outcome, just reflect it. And then have the ownership mindset. Ownership mindset means just acceptance, saying that, okay, it happened to my life.
Yeah.
At the same time, associate it with what emotions were playing at that time. Because law of attraction is about vibration, it's about emotion.
Right.
If there's no emotion involved, law of attraction does not work.
Okay.
You cannot just write down your resolution and say, fine, okay, let's see how it works and all that.
Yes.
And throw it to the universe. No, it's not going to work.
Yes.
There has to be emotions involved in it. So the first step is accepting what has happened to you in the past and then just connecting it with what is the emotion. You will notice that most of the time when there are negative outcomes, things that didn't work out well, it always involves a certain negative emotion that was playing at that time and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
like
true.
recently what's happening is to the people, whoever is looking for a special person, right? Technically, you are trying to manipulate your current emotion. So which is like, if you are not connected with them or if you're not speaking with them, you are trying to manipulate your emotion actually. So of course, you can create a positive mindset towards it, but also you needed to understand this is the real emotion
Real
you're feeling,
emotion.
Yeah.
right? So that is the real meaning of law of attraction. Law of attraction is not only just set a positive mindset and then the person is going to come into your life. They're not going to come into your life unless that metaphysical aspects connects, which means like their vibration frequency needs to connect as well,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Imagine going for a date, let's say, going for a date, but with your mindset that you're full of regrets, full of negativity about your past relationship. What's going to happen to your future date? That person is going to feel your vibration and going to say, I don't think so, this is the right person for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been receiving this question. What it has to do with emotion when it comes to manifestation? Let me write it out, set a goal, and then manifest, right? But actually, emotion plays a very vital role. Like as he shared about it, that's like a very fundamental. We cannot like expecting our soulmate to arrive while feeling so unworthy inside, feeling so low self-esteem, fear-based thinking, feeling fearful, and then trying to manifest that soulmate and the relationship, right? So, wow, that's really deep.
True.
It's important.
So we established that first, acceptance of what has happened in your life, fine. Number 2 is that determine what exactly that you want to project. What exactly do you want from whatever you want to call it. You want to call it universe, you want to call it spiritual guide or whatever it is. The name is immaterial. Determine in detail. A lot of people know the methodology of smart writing, but there's another deeper aspect called smarter, where you built in your emotions inside.
Ah, okay.
All right?
That was interesting aspect I learned from you. Basically, there's one important element he used to teach. If you say yes to yes, you are believing it, it is going to be yes. If you say no, I don't believe in it, that doubt also you are going to manifest actually. So that was the one deepest learning I learned from you, because whatever you say yes, give it 100%. If you say no, give it 100% too. So that is the meaning of law of attraction. Don't be in the middle.
Maybe.
So it's going to be, if you are in the maybe, it's going to be no.
Yeah.
It's not yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we need to be specific, about what we want to achieve. I always use the analogy of Aladdin and the genie lamp. When Aladdin rubbed the magical lamp and the genie came out and all that, you have to be very specific what you want. So for example, if you tell the genie, I want to be wealthy, the genie doesn't understand exactly what is the meaning of wealth because it's not from your world. So he's going to ask back to Aladdin, Master, what do you mean by wealth? So he needs to be specific what he's asking for. And again, be very careful about what we ask in our law of attraction, because the law is neutral. If you want wealth, it is going to grant you a lot of wealth. Opportunities is going to arrive. Opportunities are going to be knocking on your door, but it is not going to filter what is good for you.
Exactly.
So you're going to be very rich, you're going to be very wealthy, but up to what extent?
Smarter. be smarter so that you can make your choices.
Exactly.
Yeah, end of the day, what you're going to feel with that.
Yes.
Right?
Because you are attracting so much of wealth, don't be surprised, it's going to affect relationships.
Right.
So, because that is what you ask for. The universe is not going to filter what is good for you, what is bad for you. You ask for it, and that's what you're going to get. When the opportunity knocks, you grab it, that's it. You go along. But you have to decide whether, hey, is this enough or enough? When am I going to put a stop?
Yep.
You don't want to become like a python that keeps swallowing even though you're full,
Yeah.
right? So just be careful what you wish for.
Correct.
That's one thing. And as we go to the next step, once you have written down, you need to write it down. You cannot just leave it in your mind. Why writing down? Because this is called earthing. Earthing so that to make it concrete. Number 3 is that look at the statement, what exactly that you want, but by raising your vibration.
Right.
What I mean by raising your vibration, here emotion comes in again. So you are not going to write down what exactly you want, and then your vibrations is low by asking a negative question. Am I sure I'm going to get it? How much does it take to achieve it? These are negative
Self-doubt.
questions.
Yes.
Correct. So we use the power of question, but we ask ourselves positive question.
Right.
What does it take, to move forward? Hey, what can I do to change this?
Right.
So rather than thinking negative question, saying that, am I really sure that I want this? Is it going to be difficult? Those are negative questions. So raise your vibration, put in more emotion than exactly what do you want to do. Okay. And the last step is actually walk the talk. Not walk the talk, walk the thoughts.
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 Okay, walk the thoughts.
Yes.
Oh, that's deeper
Beautiful.
aspect of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So many of us, we always coming from thoughts, but we don't embed it into the being.
That's right.
Right. So it's the place where your being is going to manifest, not your doing.
Yeah.
But we always focus on the steps of
Talking
walk,
and-
but we
yeah.
forget that we are the one walking.
Yes. Your mind has to be in the state of acceptance. You must be accepting that, hey, this is what I'm going to become. This is what I wanted. So be ready for it.
Yeah.
So now onwards, you're going to be conducting yourself in a way as if you're talking about, let's say, you are trying to attract good health. You need to walk as if, or you need to conduct yourself as if you're already healthy in every aspect. Right? So these 4 steps are the one that is necessary in order for the law of attraction to work. And then you see the small changes. And the other thing is that the problem with us, we are always impatient. Universe has got its own pace, its own speed. So a lot of people get frustrated. Oh, why didn't it happen in weeks? Why in the next few months didn't happen? No, it does not work according to your rules. Universe has got its own connection. It will work out things according to what your pace of life is. Whether it's going to take years or split second, the universe is going to decide.
But then there is another aspect to it, right? What we see recent days is the people who are impatient is more anxious, right?
Yeah.
But then there is other aspect to it. These days, very very much is happening, which is those days when we are kids, we always connect with the kids, right? But these days, the kids are not growing with people. They don't have social circle, right?
Yeah.
So what is happening now is like avoidance is happening. So they are too patient enough. Even they're not even setting up a date and then saying that, I'm going to manifest a soulmate and I'm going to be with myself.
One
I'm going to go
day
and
you'll
do my
arrive.
self-love. and then that goes back to the point you have mentioned, like walk the talk. Because if you are manifesting, you need to go for the dates. If you don't go for the dates, the avoidance aspect also is there.
Exactly.
Either they are anxious or they are avoidance and they're combining both of the thing together as well.
Yeah. So it's actually quite simple. At the same time, it requires patience a bit from our side. A lot of people, and sad to say that the new generations are losing the patience part. Why? Because we are exposed to everything express. We are the driving generation now. Everything is super fast and all that. And that is making the patience aspect in our life much, much lesser. Yeah.
So what we see in our aspect is that they are impatient at work life and they are very patient in relationship. In the sense like not patience with each other. in the separation, they are being very patient.
Yeah.
I mean, feeling good to be separated or stay in distance or make a avoidance personality, but then not really taking the effort or feeling good to be connected with someone.
That's right. That's right. I don't know. Maybe people are a bit more patient in relationship because emotions are involved.
Yeah, they are patience. I'm not talking about that patience. I mean, like that is acceptance which you're talking about, right? I'm not talking about the acceptance part. I'm talking about they are like disconnecting themselves from relationship, and then they are patient enough to say that, you know what, one day they're
One day
going
it
to
will
come in,
happen.
and then that one day is going to become like 35 years old, and then you awaken yourself and then say like, no, I'm going to go and learn all the spiritual aspect to it.
Exactly.
And that time there is no partner is there for you.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a bit complicated actually.
Things get more interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. Right. Dilip, this part, right, I would like to dive in a little more deeper in that when he speak about NLP and metaphysical aspect of it. You were sharing about the mirroring practice that you have done where you was able to, grasp the other person's thoughts, the feeling, the aura, right?
And even the emotion.
Yeah.
Emotions, exactly. He said that. So
So-
tell us more about it.
So that was a very, very. I'm not sure whether I cannot really name that words. Actually, words cannot explain this. This is only an experience you can have as a metaphysical aspect, right? This one is very hard to put it in words because imagine I'm mirroring another person, which is like I'm like looking at them and I'm able to feel their emotions and everything, their thoughts, everything is coming to me as a vibration, right? So what happened to me is like I'm mirroring the person and then I'm feeling the deepest depression on my. It's kind of like the sadness I have never ever felt in my life, even though I went through my depression periods, but then that sadness was very deep within me. I was feeling the real sadness, and immediately it's turning out to be the most happy and joyful moment in my life, right? So this experience is it has stored as a memorized emotion in me, right? So that was the experience that the magic happened in his class, right? So that is when I started wondering what is it, and then we will play back what is the emotion that other person thought about it, right? So this is where when, like he has mentioned, right, when you are thinking positive thoughts, when you are thinking lovable thoughts, you're going to attract the lovable people in your life. When you're having anger or hatred within you about anyone, it is going to manifest in your life as that, right? So what happened to that experience is that person was thinking about how the baby's umbilical cord is being
Locked.
locked
Tangled,
actually. So strangled. So she was feeling that there is a complication, doctors were saying
In
and
her
then
life.
in her life, and then she's looking at her husband outside, and then she's feeling so sad about him, and that was the deepest sad feeling she
That
was
labor
imagining.
moment.
Yes. And then the next moment she gave birth and then holding that baby.
Oh.
So that really changed my life because all the while I never know that a man can experience that feeling.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that feeling shifted my entire love journey where I started feeling the love within me, where I started accepting the love within me. But of course, my thinking mind was still wanting more practices, more aspects to
Explanations,
it. And yes, after the
practices.
more explanations, that's when I went into tantric practices. That's the next step to it. So those are the aspects which has connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tantric practice and plus NLP, which helped me a lot actually.
True. Just to add on a bit to
Yeah, I
take
wanted
it
to
more
ask.
into this mirroring thing. Sometimes the concept of mirroring also applies by those who want to do distant healing.
Oh.
Distant healing is using the power of thought, manifestation again. So you can have somebody in US or anywhere else physically apart, but you go into a very deep level of mirroring or matching, just feeling what the person is feeling at the moment, and then send healing thoughts. Those healing thoughts are as real as law of gravity.
Wow.
You know, when people say law of gravity, they can see with their eyes, that, hey, this is law of gravity. But the law of vibration is as real as that. It is very real in the metaphysical world. Only thing, we don't have instruments in our so-called scientific world. We don't have that fine instruments to measure this. So because we cannot measure this, people will say that, these are just mumbo-jumbo, it doesn't exist and all that. But people have been healed using this concept of mirroring or connecting. So it is amazing actually.
So, and on that aspect about distance healing, I was learning all the pranic healing practices and stuff. I mean, like, I don't see that practices is bad.
You are the guru there. Yes.
But the most deepest essence, what I learned is that through my son, right? So he was setting his intention for my mother-in-law, and then she was able to heal, right? So that was the moment of my guru is my son Aran, who was like talking about, like, you know what, Appa, I was able to heal grandma, right? So that moment strike me, you know what? That means if I have a love feeling for someone that can heal someone, so that is the moment of shift in my energy. That is a moment of shift in my realization.
The pure
it's
intention.
The pure intention.
Yeah.
So whatever the words coming from your kids, it is pure intention. It's pure metaphysical. So it is also going to heal you guys. Remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a bit more about this mirroring concept, right? So do you think we need to go into a certain state to feel it, or in a daily life routine they can feel it with their partner, with their kid?
Can. Of course, you have to be in a certain state of mind in order to take it deeper. So if you just take it as superficially, I just want to I will call it the general aspect of mirroring is just, in terms of body language. People say, I want to mirror in terms of your passion. What do you want to talk about? So that is at the first level. But when we go deeper, we can also match in terms of the emotion. So we need to go into that state of mind.
Right.
Then the connection becomes at a deeper level.
The emotion part.
The emotions, yes. That is why sometimes you see those who do healing, spiritual healing and all that, they need to, on their part, they need to do earthing also. Earthing,
like grounding.
They need to diffuse, because why? There's a lot of connection going on at emotional level. Imagine seeing 5 patients in one day and you are connected emotionally. If you don't do the grounding or the earthing, you're going to be affected. So we need to do that. Electrical wiring has got a grounding wire. So why not us?
Have to.
Yeah, that's when
Important
sometimes.
takeaway for me.
Oh yeah, for
Yes.
Go and lie down on the grass.
As simple as that. Yeah.
she loved to do
I
that.
love to do
actually.
that. Yeah, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was about to say that basically when we are having that kind of energetical connection, right? So where that is how our overthinking thoughts also come through someone else around us. If someone else around you having overthinking thoughts, that is going to land on you as well, because you are very close with them, because it might distort your thoughts as well. So you might create an illusion between both of you, right? So saying that, that is a thing is coming, how are we going to do that? So sometimes we might even forget that we already have the knowledge to face that kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean that I feel like this is so much connected to the generational trauma that they passed down from the environment that you've been raised with your mom, with your dad, the way they think, their emotion, the very immune emotion for them, that will be stored in their body, and that's how it's like passing down, and they will pass it to their partner to be in the fearful emotions all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so deep actually.
Allow me to go a little bit into quantum mechanics
Please.
kind of thing.
Yes,
Would that be
yes,
okay?
yes.
Yeah. Because for people to understand what is quantum mechanics or quantum works and all that, what happened is previously scientists realized there were neutrons, protons, atoms and all that. When they go at a much more finer level, they realize there are also quantum particles. Quantum particles is much, much finer than all this. So in the universe of quantum particles, certain laws does not apply there. Everything gets distorted. Whatever physical laws, for example, law of gravity, it becomes distorted a little bit in the quantum world. Let me give you some example. Yeah. Okay, before I go to the example, I just want to explain a little bit about the mechanism of it. They realize when two particles are so connected with each other, where the mirroring comes in.
Yeah.
If they are so connected to each other, come to the extent that these two quantum particles, they cannot differentiate themselves as two particles, as if they're actually one. Right? So this actually explains a lot of things that people experience in their life. For example, let's say I'm talking about Einstein theory of relativity. He talks about the speed of light and all that. Now, there are instances where certain people, in that instant, they can feel for the other person. For example, let's say twins. Something happened to the other twin in a remote location. Immediately, this person here can feel, or some thoughts is going on in the mind. So they feel that, hey, I think the other half is going through something. Now that is faster than the speed of light.
Wow.
That is instant. When I say instant, means immediately, right? So
That moment
itself, right? Okay. So quantum works or quantum mechanics violates Einstein's speed of light theory because it is so instant. All right. So certain physical laws does not applies or does not operate exactly in the quantum world. So these things are the one that's being observed, and they go deeper. For example, there's one Heisenberg experiment. They call it Heisenberg principle. It was shocking. They had a control environment where they did a double slit experiment. Probably you read about it. The wave thing and all that. So they came up with this principle that the act of observing the experiment itself can determine the outcome of the experiment.
Be the observer.
Yes.
Can
you imagine that?
Dr. Joe Dispenza spoke about
Dr. Joe Dispenza, and then there are all the metaphysical aspects. They will be talking about that, right? Because this again goes back to our real life experience. We always tend to go into theoretical, but in real life experience, sometimes I feel you, you feel me, and then we transmute thoughts. Not only
telepathy, we call it.
Not only with Mangla, my Subaru. Yesterday also we experienced this. Like he was thinking on the morning, and then even night I was talking about that. So that is kind of like a, when you are having a similar intention, when you're having a similar outcome, right? So you will find those kind of people. Even this podcast, right?
Yeah.
So you will. I mean, like we wouldn't know whether this has been decided now or it has been decided on the past. We wouldn't know. So that's the power of thoughts.
Exactly. So science is trying to go deeper, trying to understand this. So they are coming up with theories, the string theory. String theory is trying to connect all the variables in the physical world, trying to connect whether, hey, is there any one particular connectivity in all these things? So they came up with string theory. And as they go deeper and deeper, they realize mathematically it's proven that there are 11 dimensions. The 11 dimensions which is operating. Now we are looking at
3 dimensions.
3 dimensions plus, if you put in time element, it becomes 4.
Okay.
This object is 3 dimension. But the moment you put the time element inside, it becomes 4 dimension. Mathematically, they have proven there are 11 dimensions. Can you imagine?
Wow, I cannot imagine right now actually. I'm trying to, as you speak, I'm trying to.
You can't visualize it because when you visualize it, then you become like Lucy movie, right? Where you become the wholeness actually, so you can control everything.
I can limit my thoughts according to how body system works with the chakras and everything, but I couldn't really imagine that part of it.
True.
That's godical.
So you probably heard about the butterfly effect, the Gaia theory about how the universe is balancing itself and all that. So these are the variables theory that actually try to explain what exactly is happening in our life. So there are tangible metaphysical aspects that connects everything.
I'm in the movie of multiverse, seeing Doctor Strange the back of my head.
Of course, they overdo it in the movie.
Oh, really? Probably some sort of exaggeration needed for people to understand. Maybe?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, like that exaggeration is needed. That's when people can remember. That's when the movie can hit.
Stay in your head.
And the other interesting aspect is that, have you felt that when you are dreaming, in your dream, you probably have ventured years or ages for a long time, Probably you're fighting Thanos, in the in the dream world and all that. And it was like years and years passed by and all that. But when you wake up, hey, there was only 1 hour. So what's happening there? The mind in that realm is going through years. But when you come back to this particular physical realm, it's only 1 hour. So we call it time distortion.
Right.
The time itself get distorted in the different dimensions. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So that is again another metaphysical. Time in the quantum world, it works differently. It is not by the minutes or the hours that we humans have created.
Because we found it to be in our way, right?
Because we were dictated by the sunrise, moonrise, blah, blah, and all that. So we came up with the hours. It does not apply in the quantum world. Totally different time set.
Yes. I mean, like, but then people tend to confuse that, saying that, in law of attraction, people tend to confuse that between goal setting versus manifestation, right? So where where when it comes to time, you really need to have time for this physical world. We needed to emphasize that. But of course, when you have an intention about what is the outcome, the timeless can happen actually. So the time can shorten.
Yeah.
You can have your success immediately, but you still need to have the time awareness for this world.
That's right.
This physical world.
Because we are living here.
Yeah. So people tend to confuse that actually. So there is a question in our class also asked like, oh, Dilip, in theoretical, people saying that you shouldn't put time for manifesting anything. I said like, in physical world, you still need to have the time to be specific, so
we
that
can bend that
you
time.
can bend the time. So it's kind of like you're creating a shorter span, and when you create a shorter span, that means you're putting all your energy to a focused energy, and that is going to manifest very quickly for you, which is the timeless quantum physics, right?
Exactly.
So which is going to be happening immediately.
Nice.
So we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So that goes back to the emotion. We needed to feel our emotion. What is our real emotion?
Yes.
So if you feel that, you will know sometimes this is a similar emotion I needed on that time. So that's when Dr. Harjit said, right, you will feel enough. So that feeling of enough is going to reduce the time of manifestation actually.
Yeah. It's actually the power of gratitude. Yeah. So if you notice, again, some people, they have a lot of wealth, but they are not satisfied. There's no contentment. So they keep on earning and earning. They will never find happiness.
What is enough for them? That
Exactly.
matters a lot,
Yeah.
right?
So like I said, they become Python. Keep swallowing and swallowing. Right? But another person who probably just got one meal a day, just one roti chana per day and all that, but you see him happy in his life. So how do we quantify success? How do we quantify happiness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about gratitude again.
Yes, power of gratitude. Yes, so important is power of gratitude. But so the gratitude is an emotion which can really heal you if you are really doing it properly, right? So if you're really connecting that with emotion, but if you are only connecting that with the practice, it's not going to heal you or it's not going to help you, because there also you're not going to feel enough about gratitude. You'll be saying that, oh, I didn't do my gratitude journal. Today I'm going to go and do it. So that's not going to help you. So you really need to center yourself. You really need to ground yourself about your power of gratitude and feel it all over your body, in all your cells. So that is going to help you to manifest whatever that you wanted in your life. That feeling of enough, feeling of whatever that you have, especially these days, knowledge, right? So we have so much of information outside. It's not about all these informations we are talking about. Like Dr. Harjit mentioned, like it's about the experience. It's about we see it in practical and then we implement. We go and learn the theory. So that's the way we have learned our quantum physics, right? So that's the thing actually. Because I'm a physics graduate, of course.
Right.
So but I don't know what is quantum physics at that time, right? So I mean, like now if I hear about Einstein, I'm feeling like, oh, wow, right?
Wow.
But those
When you
days when I
study those
hear,
days?
it's like, why the hell does Einstein exist in the world?
I was exposed to the quantum mechanics work during my study for the doctorate. It was a metaphysical hypnotherapy studies. Along the way, there were subjects on quantum mechanics, quantum worlds and all that. So I was thinking, how is it connected? Why am I studying quantum physics or quantum mechanics? Then once you complete it, then you see the connection, that they are all interconnected. And coming back to law of manifestation, a lot of people, coming back to patience again, the number one that sabotage this manifestation is comparison.
Wow. My God,
Why thing is happening to him, not happening to me?
Yeah.
Why the guy is lucky? Why is happening not to me? All this kind of comparison. The number one culprit is comparison. Why he's getting it fast? Why not me? The more we compare, the more it's going to sabotage this.
So that means the more we compare, that means we are expanding the time.
Yes, delaying the effect.
Because of the hatred and all those jealousy we have, that energy is going to push.
Yep.
That's
That's
interesting.
a very good point.
So that's why NLP comes in. NLP is tricking the mind. So the moment you notice that you are going into negativity, negative mindset and all that, switch it with all the techniques that we have. Keep switching so that we remain in the positive or inspiring mindset. So that sabotage less. of our effort.
I think the word inspiring mindset, I love it because positive mindset, these days, people are coming up with toxic positivity.
positivity.
Too much of positivity.
Too much of positivity. It's kind of like,
Yes.
we have experience as well with Mangala, right? So when we do some physical manifestation, like a
Yes.
business manifestation, Mangala used to say, you know what, let's be positive. The clients are going to come. I'll be like, you know what, it's almost like only 3 days for your workshop and then nobody has turned up, nobody has signed up, and
Like
you're
for
still
6
being
months we was
positive.
doing.
6 months you guys are being positive, right? Guys, you need to measure some
Yeah.
places. You still need to be smart, and then also implement smarter, which is like with the emotion, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's most important actually. So
Correct.
positive mindset. What positive mindset we are talking about is like from this moment you see everything as it is.
Inspiring it.
Right, inspiring, right? So get inspired about your future rather than like being positive that whatever is not working and then saying that it's going to change one day, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like connecting back to, if you remember the motivation theory by Tony Robbins. There's one element called uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
We need certainty, uncertainty. So sometimes we need to spice up our life in order to be motivated. So once a while, do something crazy. You know? I know you want to be healthy, but once a while, go to the free stick, 1 or 2 chocolates and eat. Spice up your life. Being too healthy is no good, right?
that is becoming like a discipline. That also it's again goes back to the impacting your emotion, right? So you know what? Then after that the emotion we store, it is going to eat more than
That's one
Yeah,
thing,
they
yeah.
call it cheat day.
Yeah, cheat
and then
day.
go for it, right?
Yeah.
so yeah.
This is coming back to ownership. Everything that we are talking about today is about ownership. Are we the owner of our mindset? Most of the time we are like a loose cannon. We are affected by emotion, by others and all that. So NLP is about taking charge of yourself. Are you owner? You bought a car, you got a grant. You bought a house, you got a grant of the house. Do you have the grant of your mindset? Where's the evidence that you own the mindset?
You can only feel it actually. So
Yeah.
this took me some time to own the mindset.
And believe me, most of the time we are not the owner.
Yeah.
While we are sitting down, your mind is running all over the universe. So are you really in charge of your mind?
That's a very
Yeah,
good
even if it goes off, it took me some time to bring it to the
Exactly.
now. But through practice, it can shorten actually. So that's the power of healing, right? So it's basically you are shortening the choices you are making. You're shortening the timeline for your choices. It's not that something you are not doing. So people tend to forget the thoughts. Whenever you are trying to say to yourself, you know what, I don't want this. I don't want this. So just close your eyes and imagine you will only see that.
Yeah.
Right? So this goes back to our next question, right? So you have worked with finance before, right? And then also that brings to the point of like many people these days they want more money, right?
Yeah.
So what are the 3 tips you can give them to manifest more money?
Especially in terms of quantum physics,
Yeah.
right?
I think I will fall back into what I mentioned earlier is that back to the basic, how much money do you need? Are you going to be looking at abundance of money or are you looking at just enough to sustain? Because remember, there's a price for it. You want a lot of money, universe is going to grant you, but at what price? So, of course, identify what exactly you want. And then, of course, as we are progressing, our economic system is also moving forward. We do have a lot of different financial instruments. So we need to keep update with all the different financial philosophies, financial techniques and all that. If you ask me what is the latest in terms of being financially free, I would say there's a lot of gurus out there. I'm a bit out of touch, right? There's a lot of financial gurus out there who can advise you in terms of the different aspect of investment, what to do with the money. Okay. I was talking to one of my participants one day in one of the clients. He threw me off tangent. The way he was defining the concept of money, because I used to look at money from the financial accounting aspect. He was looking at money from a totally different aspect, which, really threw my mind off tangent. I was like, wow, I never thought of money from that angle, right? So sometimes when we come across people looking at different aspects, it really opens up your mindset about what exactly is money.
So it's increasing your energetical container so you can receive more.
Something like that. Yeah.
I feel like end of the day we need to understand what are we going to do with the money. because with that we will have a concrete reason or aim or purpose for us to manifest the abundance as well. Because end of the day, somehow it will relate back to another human actually. Somehow either we are selling a product or selling a service or whatever it is, it's end of the day connecting to back to another human or animals, right? It's more like contribution. So knowing the fact that I want to grow to this level, but why you want to grow, what is that you want to contribute, knowing that will give us a very good clarity and also the purposefulness for that manifesting abundance and everything.
I mean, looking at the future, since we are talking about money is just a medium to get whatever you want in life, right?
Yeah.
Don't be surprised in the future, I don't know, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years from now, money will not exist.
Now itself we have digital banks.
I'm talking about even digital.
The value.
You will not be working for money anymore. You'll be working for what you need in your life.
Correct.
So don't be surprised from a capitalistic system, you might move in the future into socialistic system. Where the government of the day,
Law of cycle.
probably like law of cycle, the government of the day going to say that, okay, you need a car, you need a house, you need food, you just do your particular work and all that. This will be provided. So you're not working for money anymore. You're working for your needs.
Correct.
So I don't know, in the near future, we might end up like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because at the moment, we have huge disparity between wealth and poor people, correct? The wealthy and poor people. Why? Because of money. That's the only reason. So if one day, if we want to totally
Equalize it.
no gap, nothing, take out the element of money.
I think human will go in
Remove
search
it.
of human.
And then after, no crime also.
So that goes back to that. I mean, like it's in the future, but in your relationship, you can do it now itself. Because if you create that disparity in your relationship, it's going to really sabotage your relationship because you're not becoming social. You're becoming so material, right? So that is going to impact your relationship.
Yeah.
And of course, financial aspect is important for our needs, as Doctor has mentioned. So financial needs are important, but that financial need shouldn't be dominating your relationship.
True.
So if it is dominating your relationship, and it's going to sabotage your relationship.
Any relationship, guys.
Any relationship.
Like, any relationship. Oh, that's deep.
Yep.
And we would like to ask, right? This is a very common question that we receive. We would like to get your perspective on it, right? What is the difference, do you think, between goal setting and manifestations?
I believe goal setting is part of the process of manifesting.
Right.
They are not totally mutually exclusive or separate. In order to manifest, remember the steps that I mentioned earlier, the 4 steps. So one of the steps is actually determine what you want. That itself is the goal setting. Right? So if you remember in the NLP class, we have this tracking sheet called well-formed outcome, where you go detail into what exactly do you want. So that itself is a goal setting, which is the smarter methodology that I talked about. So they are interconnected. It's part of it.
Part of it. Cool.
But people tend to confuse between goal setting versus manifestation. Either they choose goal setting or they choose manifestation.
They choose goal setting and they call it manifestation.
Yes.
We just want to highlight
Because manifesting
this,
without goal setting is just wishing.
Wishing. Yeah, correct.
You can't just wish and expect things to happen and all
Yeah.
that. You need the proper steps.
Yeah.
So that step is the goal setting. You need to set what exactly do you want.
Exactly. And on the other hand, you have to be receptive over something that is unthinkable or unimaginable for your it to happen in your life. Like we used to measure, this is how I'm going to have my manifestation, like with the knowledge that only we know, whereas universe can give it to you in any form, in any way, right? So being open for that, which is like a very well-structured
it's kind of like I used to think that, I wanted to manifest this product owner role. I mean, like that's a role I'm attaching to my role. But then I don't understand after that role, what is the beyond that? So what is the beyond impact I'm going to make? I don't know that. But then the moment when I started going deeper and deeper, I realized that that role is my goal setting. But my real manifestation is in somewhere, but the process brought me to the point to see the manifestation clearly, right? So then I can see beyond.
What is
so
beyond?
Whenever you are setting into a manifestation, ask yourself, okay, once I achieve this, what is beyond? Or am I going to feel enough?
Yeah, that leads back to identifying, right? what's the difference do you talk about when you manifest material things and relationships,
Yeah.
right? How do you think about it?
The thing is, as an adult, we are cursed by the multiple mindset.
Okay.
I would say curse is that why? This multiple mindset is the one preventing us from manifesting things. Imagine if you are single-minded. A child is single-minded. Animals are single-minded. If the tiger is hungry and he wants to now hunt the deer, right? Single-mindedly is going to chase. That's called single-mindedness. Yeah, and you achieve your goal. But we as an adults, we are all fickle-minded. Halfway get distracted. Oh, why not I do this? Okay, let's do this, and then get distorted. Oh no, I think let's forget this. Let's do this. This is easier. So the whole culprit is about being single-minded. Be very passionate. Put in emotions about what you achieve. That's where the law of attraction comes in, and manifestation happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautifully
You
said.
have to be single-minded.
Yeah, which is consist of your thinking mind plus your emotions, guys. Don't only confuse with the only thinking mind, right? So
Yeah.
people tend to confuse with thinking mind is the single minded. It's not single minded. It is more of like you are only looking at the mind. You're not looking at the aspect of the mind is generating the emotions, or
Yes.
emotions are generating thoughts in your mind, right?
Correct.
So we really need to understand that.
And I have a curiosity question. So when you talk about the dreams, right, and you felt like we are literally living in another quantum realm during that.
We are experiencing.
We are
a different realm.
experiencing it. So each sleep, each dreams are different being, or the same being we are going and meeting.
Inside each of us, there's a universe by itself.
Correct.
What you experience in your dream is about you. So only you can interpret what exactly it is. So I normally discourage people buying dreams interpretation book. You know what's dream interpretation? One standard dream. If you see a red color cow in your dream, okay, you're gonna get this. If you see a bell ringing in your dream, oh, okay, it means this happened. It's not that, because your universe is different. What transpires in you is totally different in each of us. So what you go through in your dream world is your soul experiencing. Sorry, allow me to use the word soul, or
Please.
whether you want to call it
That's
astral body or anything. It's your being experiencing that. Only you can interpret that. So in order to know what's going on, I advise you have a dream journal. Dream journal means immediately after that dream, open up your book, you write down how much you can remember. Because these dreams are like vapor, it disappears.
Yes.
Immediately write down exactly what you can remember. Don't interpret, don't analyze it, just close the book. Just write it down.
Okay.
Next day, if you happen to have another dream, just write it down again. Keep writing. After a couple of weeks, couple of months, open back your dream journal and just read back what you wrote. You are going to be shocked.
Okay.
Because as time moves on, you realize the dream was actually sort of like...
Happens.
It is like
it is like in reality you're experiencing it.
Yes.
So in order for us to give you an example, I have practiced dream jourling. So I think Mangala has seen my dream journal, which is a red color book, right? So when I wanted to manifest the life with Mangala, I wrote down a view. This is how I would like to look at her. This is how I wanted to experience that particular timing with our life. So I have written down the way we wanted to connect, right? So which is nothing but if you do remember
Okay.
your red color dress, right? So I'm like, that is where it, but that curiosity I have, the one you said, right? Close it, but don't
read
look at it.
Yeah.
That is what I do actually. I do it intuitively. I don't do it like a practice, because I'm not a practice person, but I do like to dream, right? So I written down, and then imagine most of the pictures you would have seen Mangala in red color dress. It's kind of like, that is the way I have interpreted my dream,
Oh,
right?
really?
So
is that a dream or visualization?
it's a visualization, plus I do dream as well, because there's a
okay.
technique called, like, when you go before bed, imagine the dream. So it will, technically it's going to connect with your dream. So it's kind of like you're also sending a signal to the universe. It's not only getting the signal from the universe, you're also sending the signal to the universe, right? So there comes the cash, right? It's the experience matter. It's not about the location. It's not about the time. It's the experience matters, right? So because the location I imagine is in Venice, It's not yet happened. It's not yet happened, right?
It's gonna happen soon.
Kind of excited.
So, but the experience of the visualization, it happened.
Oh, wow.
Right, so that's one part of it. And the dreams, yes, of course, the collective dream we used to have it these days. Like whatever that she sees in the dream, I used to see as well.
Right.
But again, very good point you have mentioned about it's your perspective. Don't misinterpret with other person's perspective. Always have that self of you, but still connected in love.
Yeah.
Oh.
The reason why I said if you want to read your dream writing immediately, you can, no problem. Only thing, it will not make sense. Yeah, because at that time it just happened.
Then you will go to thinking mind, and then you will start to
think
question
about
why
it.
am I not having it, and then
Yeah.
again
Think
go
about
to the
it,
scarcity.
fearful about it, mostly fear. So that is
Yeah.
what I used to confuse, right? How do we differentiate our fearful thoughts manifesting in dreams? Like, what could have happened? What if I die? What if this person died? Those kind of things. And the actual dream, like it's a normal dream,
Yeah.
right? So I used to be confused. I don't even how to explain this to our client when we know sometimes this is your deepest fear and you're dreaming it and you say that, this happened. I dreamt it, past 2 days I dreamt it, he cheated on me. I'm like, no, actually there is one fine line.
So yeah, there's a fine line, right? So how do you define as I mentioned, right? Like sometimes we wouldn't know we manifested a dream, our dream is manifesting us. So how do we define that?
The astral body, which is actually the dream body, it actually can be affected by your emotions also. So throughout the day, if you went to sleep with a very depressed state or stressed state and all that, that will also affect the journey of your dream there. So you might, and vice versa. The journey also can be on its own without any of your involvement inside. That's what you're experiencing.
Right.
Right. The other thing, talking about dreams and all that, very interestingly is that if you read the biography of a lot of people who were creators, it can be music, it can be any creative work, most of their works came after they woke up from their sleep.
Okay.
The creator of, the periodic table, or your
Periodic
chemicals
table.
and all that, I believe his name is Dmitri Mendeleev or something.
Okay.
He immediately dropped the table upon waking up.
Oh.
Yes. Most of the Beethoven, Mozart, all the music composed was after, not by sitting down, by the seaside, lakeside and all that. No.
Researching in the papers, no.
Yes. The moment they woke up, they started writing. Tup, 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 because the creativity came from the dream world.
Actually, to be honest, the recent workshop we are going to do, it came out of my dream. So that came to me, and then I just write it down. And then now we are almost ready for the workshop. We're going to launch it tomorrow.
It was like in the
That's
middle of night, 3 a.m. or something. I was sleeping and I'm watching him going toilet and walking around with the phone. I'm like, what is that happening, babe? You're not sleeping. You know what, babe? Our learning outcome for the workshop is ready. I'm like, really?
I know, I experienced that at times. Sometimes when you're sleeping, all this idea comes in. You become like a generator,
Yeah.
Your body heats up and you will not be able to sleep until the whole morning, the whole night you won't be able to sleep. You're just generating ideas.
Right.
So no point wasting your time sleeping. Just get up and
God.
do something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so inspiring, both of you. Me be like, okay, my battery runs out. I'm going to sleep.
No. Don't compare again.
Again, law of neutral, right?
Yes,
So-
exactly.
So, and I think we are almost coming to the conclusion of the session, right?
Yeah.
So, if you want to give one insight to the people about manifestation, so what will be the one thing people should follow or people should
Understand.
embody in their being?
Yeah. The one thing that I would like to have in my own life also as well, to see in people's life and all that, be focus-minded, because it's in the wording of this person which I wrote down here, Michael Beckwith. He say, we are unlimited beings. We don't have ceilings. So believe that we are capable of doing a lot of things. Don't let things like comparison or multi-minded to affect what we wanted in life. Just be focused, just persevere with it, and somehow the universe will chart the journey for you to be able to undertake what exactly do you want. And that is the power of manifestation.
Wow, that's so deep.
Yeah.
And I guess, again, it goes back to the, not only about comparison, but again, don't go into the mode of like, I don't want to see the combination and collaboration, right? So people tend to misinterpret whatever the comparison we are talking about, right? But you also need to have a unified mind to manifest.
Right.
You needed to find the people who is also comparing but inspiring through you, not comparing and then feeling
envy, or
right?
something.
So envy about it, right? So and also it's all magical, right? We love Michael Beckwith as well, and you are quoting him here. So see the power of quantum world, guys. So it is going to be amazing. And Michael Beckwith's quote, which we have already mentioned about, like the law of resonance. You guys can go and read about it more about it. So he's an amazing author, and he's the author in Secret book as well. And one of the part of it, he was participated in that as well, right? But he has evolved his theory from law of attraction to law of resonance, right? So see the evolution of the theory. So that's most important in manifestation as well.
Yes, that's right.
And thank you so much, Doctor. I mean, like, you have helped me in a lot of aspects, and especially when it comes to the point of time where I wanted to learn about how to understand my mindset. So you have really helped me, and I'm really grateful for that. And that session has really helped me to transform my life, actually, and also helped me to manifest Mangala. And I'm happy about it.
Thank you so much for having me today, Dilip, Mangala.
Thank you so much,
It's been a
Doctor.
pleasure sharing
Same
all
here.
this with everyone, of course.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot.
much.
And
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. And we will see you in our upcoming episode. Hope you enjoyed. And thank you very much.
Keep manifesting.
Keep manifesting.
Yeah.